Hello, fellow enthusiasts and tinkerers. I have here my newish Palmetto State Armory's GF5 with the Soviet Arms 13.5-inch aluminum handguard and the matching Soviet Arms railed gas block. For starters, people that are just upgrading their gas blocks with this gas block, I seen in forums saying, how do you tighten it up? It's loose, whatnot. Uh, I'll go for what this video is actually for, is how to figure out how to fix that shake that came from factory. I know they're in a hurry, but man, $1,200 rifle. Show a little love before it leaves. But either way, to remove or tighten, we'll say tighten. I found a 19-inch, or excuse me, a metric 19 wrench. There is a adjustable nut on the front of this gas block, okay? To make it loose, you go counterclockwise. When you're installing or you need to tighten it up, you go clockwise, okay? Once you have it loose, you unlock your gas block lever, and then just lift straight up and out. If that doesn't work for you, don't forget, you need to first take out your bolt carrier group and spring, of course, before you're able to lift this out like any other gas block. So here we go. There's the nut we speak of right in the front, 19mm wrench or whatever standard equivalent will work. Put that off to the side. Now I had already taken off towards the receiver. You have 3 very small screws, 2mm hex key to be exact, to remove the 3, we'll call it receiver side, and 3 on the gas block side. Once you remove those, you have your handguard retainer, like traditional AKs. Flip it back so that it's loose, and then she'll drop out. Now, this isn't going to be a complete repair, but I've gotten most of the way. Inside here, you have this retainer that slides through that notch. Okay. And now your handguard is free and just a chunk of aluminum. I'm still holding it the way it was sitting in there, obviously. The round pattern end goes into the retainer, the flat side towards the receiver. Okay? Now, at the receiver end, you have this aligning, retaining, whatever you want to call these pieces. The system for keeping everything steady relies on that little screw. Now my screw was actually, that's the head, which I guess let me get into that. Is an even smaller hex wrench that is 1.5mm. Okay, you're gonna need a little guy like this to carry this out. But so I found this screw that was all the way coming through the other end and not really doing anything. So I reversed it, cleaned it. Remember, alcohol's your friend if you're going to use any Loctite. And I just turned the screw until I met the resistance too much, and you can't slide this in, too little, and it's loose as hell. I don't see how that's going to be so secure, but that's what they come up with, and that's what they have. So definitely Loctite the heck out of it. Blue, of course. Red, you'll find yourself one day buying a bunch of pieces. On this one here, now, I found these exactly the way they are. So I do see Once again, the 1.5 millimeter wrench. There's still, I can imagine, at least 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 that can possibly go through. And to be honest with you, I think that was the culprit. It wasn't screwed in all the way. And I can imagine people in a hurry, meeting quotas, trying to get this thing down the line. No bueno. This isn't Century Arms, guys. Come on. And, but I'm not sure even finding these little clues and gems is going to fix my problem. And I'll show you why. This might just be limited to me. More than likely it is. But those with the wiggle, it's not just loose hardware. It could also be from what I see. Okay. The retainer. It's got a cut for where the locking mechanism, bar, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is called, is how it engages. Okay. Now if you notice, I already flipped it over. It's locked. And look at all that plate. I am by no means an AK armor. I've never built one. Tinkered with many in the past, my own, but just parts changing and maintaining. That doesn't seem right to me. And what I'm thinking is that either too big, I don't see how, same equipment they use for every gun. There must have been a boo-boo and they had to go a little bit more and it ended up being too much and we have all this plate. I'm hoping the amount of take-up that was on the retainer side plate of the Handguard hardware moves enough to where it'll put that in a steady spot and also push enough to keep this end in as well. Cross my fingers. If not, I've done everything I can to avoid sending this back. I've only sent one firearm back. It was Ruger, and they were great, but I'd really rather not go through that if I can. All that I've explained here is fairly simple. This is all for educational purposes. You mess up your rifle, don't come, expecting me to buy you a new one. If this seems out of your realm, then send it right back, and I'm sure they'll take care of it. But like I said, there was no information regarding this handguard or gas tube assembly, installation, removal, whatever. So I hope this really helps out a lot of people. Yeah, I'm not too big on going live and showing my face and everything, so hope you're not disappointed, because you might have been. But really do hope this helps out. A lot of these videos have helped me out in the past, so I'm just trying to pay it forward. And if this doesn't fix my problem, I really hope it helps you with yours. You have a good night.